Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, from to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you got your book? Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety, and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative, and very historical, right?
Them call him Ras Tafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Ras Tafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Ras Tafari. Lion break the chain, beat not, don't cry. Them call him Ras Tafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England.
This brethren has particular importance to I personally. So to have him, to call this brethren and have him agree to come on this platform is a major victory. So if you see I'm just smiling, or you feel like I'm taking a victory lap, don't feel no way, me not laugh after nobody. It's because one of my heroes on the planet is here with I. Who am I talking about? Lion Pride family. I'm talking about Ras Sekou Tafari. Welcome, Ras Sekou.
Give thanks, family. Give thanks, my brethren. Ras Kwasi, Dashmak, we give thanks for being here to share a bit of the story and the experiences that we have over the years, over the last 50 years of, experiencing within the Pan-African community and within Ras Tafari. So we give thanks for the work that the I is doing on multiple levels, and we give thanks that they have the opportunity to share, the story, our history.
Our story.
Yes, our story. So
I tell people, Ras Sekou, that my superpower is I network. I would live to see the day when I was able to travel to Chicago, to Frontline, to meet Sekou in person, having reason with him on Zoom or on phone calls. But I lived to see the day, and it was a great day. He welcomed I into his workspace, his personal space. It was, a joy. I and Bingi Sean were there. I think Ras Woolley was there too. Powerful manifestation. So I just want to say welcome, and I want to dive right into the I journey. Where was the I born, and what was your childhood like that shaped a man like the I self?
Well, I was born in a place called Trinidad, or people call it Trinidad, and it's a twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. And I was born in the period of revolution, when the Cuban Revolution was taking place. Was fight for the Cuban Revolution, the fight for Pan-Africanism, the fight for all these things was happening at that time, and that is mid 50s, and we had that period of time where African people in the Caribbean and in Africa were fighting for liberation and had taken the position that Garvey had given the call for independence of for African countries, and also Caribbean countries. African Caribbean countries also took that call and made it into reality. So I was born in that period, and that period has influenced I on all levels. I grew up in a home where my mother was strong about Haile Selassie I. She basically taught us to give total representation to the High Majesty Haile Selassie.
Was she was a Rastafari woman?
She wasn't a Rastafari woman. She was just a little black woman who father told her when she was growing up that the only man he would like to see and then he could make his exit from the planet. So growing up around her, she always um, put that into our ears and our heads. And also our house in Belmont, Port Trinidad, um, we the house was painted in the colors ice gold and green, and the inside, and so on, because of both my mother and father were basically what you would call strong about black pride
Okay.
and black independence and so on. My father in the 40s, he was into what you call Hebrewism and so
Okay.
on. So now I realize later about since one of my sons encouraged me to do the DNA test, I realized that the link we have with what we call the people of Nigeria, the
Okay.
Igbo people, which is really the Hebrew people
Yes.
who moved all the way from North Africa to here, to where they are now in Nigeria, because they were nomadic people. So we also, my son did his DNA, and our link also goes forward to Ramses III, father of ancient America. We have a
Okay.
special pool with him. So it's a long history. My father was a construction engineer. He could have built from ships to any buildings in Trinidad.
Wow.
He helped put up the turbines at the TNTech, the electrical company. He also worked in St. Croix. That's my sister is still there. He worked in St. Croix at Hess Oil and so on, doing construction there. So, so we have that history. So I grew up in a home where reading was very crucial. We had the books I grew up with. Seen my father studying and reading books on Kemet, Egypt, about
Okay.
architecture
Okay.
and so on. So those things were very vital in our upbringing, and I took it very, very crucial, because the things I would get besides getting a gun, as in those days, you'll get certain things for the holidays, like a gun and so on. But most emphasis was being on books,
Books.
encyclopedia, to tell you books I never saw in nobody else's library, you know.
Okay.
So books that he had that will tell us about Egypt and the secrets of Egypt. And, I saw he gave me
And
the
you
book.
said what part of Trinidad was this? What part?
I grew up in what they call Belmont, not too far from East Dry River, not too far from
Okay.
where Stokely Carmichael was born as well,
Okay.
and Darcus Howe from and all those people. I grew up in that environment, So Darcus
What
Howe
was
Khan
it?
was my teacher, was my principal at one time, and so I grew up in that kind of environment, um, whereby um, the importance of reading, the importance of linking with our history, Black history, and so when Haile Selassie came in 1966,
Yes.
my mother emphasized that we all should see Their Majesty. So we all saw him at different points, um,
Okay.
you know,
How old
and
was the eye?
uh,
How old were you at that time, the
at
eye?
that time I was like a teenager, early teenager.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
have vivid memories.
Oh yeah, I have vivid memories of Their Majesty coming, being there, and my mother emphasized, because she told us the story again about her father, and which was like, she was like a favorite to him, and he told her, that he would like to see, and she made sure though he didn't see him, but we were able to see him, and she emphasized that we should see him, and that is the beginning of the awareness, more and more of learning about Their Majesty. Um, the more from there, later
Hold on.
on.
Don't skip too fast. Ras Sekou. What was that impression as a teenager seeing His Majesty? What was the feeling? Was it, describe that for the people, because very few of us got to that opportunity.
Well, I saw this little man, about 5'2", thereabout. Um, he just had an impression of a man of dignity, a man of big affairs, as Garvey talked to us. I learned later on. He kind of he impressed me from the angle of driving in the vehicle he was in and waving to everyone. So I actually think I thought he was waving to you directly. That's how, because that is the impression you get. But a lot of us who saw Their Majesty at that time experience, he left a long-term on our minds, and so from that, I would always check into what's going on in Ethiopia, etc. And then within coming to Trinidad, he came and he established the construction of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in a place called Aruka, which is more east. And so that was the first official church in the whole region that was established there. But in Trinidad, I think the Orthodox Church came in there sometime around in the 40s into early 50s. And so Eric Williams being the prime minister at the time, who was a trained historian, he taught at the alma mater at Howard and so on, and he saw the importance, whether it was a political move, some saying later on as we look at it that it might have been a political move to bring in invite the High Majesty to come. So in terms of the African community, because Trinidad is a place, there's a split between African and Indian.
Yes.
In terms of the division, in terms of population. Not at all that there's any much difference between the two, but there's that difference, and therefore the High Majesty coming, African youths more so was a great inspiration for them and for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as them enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting, I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting, then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing our youths them. No court, they just execute them till the people start learn the truth, and the black youths go strap on them Gideon boot and them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The Most High denounce their philosophy, talk to United Nations properly. He said we will fight if necessary, and be confident in the victory. They try to erase our history, they wanted to change our destiny, cause we are the children of the Almighty, destined to lead the whole world to harmony. Them out in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down.